we need to talk about Juliet, and I might make some people mad with what I have to say. A brief description of Juliet. Juliet is a jukebox musical that premiered in London on the West End in 2019. It's since been performed in multiple cities around the world, including in New York City on Broadway. The show reimagines the classic Shakespearean tragedy Romeo and Juliet and asks the question, what if Juliet didn't die? In this alternative version of the story, Juliet chooses to live and embarks on a journey of self-discovery with her best friend and a band of characters, including Shakespeare himself. It features a score of pop hits from Katy Perry, the Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, all of Max Martin's tunes. I feel the need to talk about Juliet because I've been using Broadway Roulette recently, which I've been really loving, and I might have to make a whole video about that experience soon. I saw Moulin Rouge the week before, and then I saw Hadestown the week after. When I saw Moulin Rouge, it was fine. It was a jukebox musical. Some of it was really cool. Some of it was really meh. The actors were fantastic. More people need to be talking about Ashley Lauren, the current Satine. Amazing. Do not even get me started. And also, I have never in my life seen Aaron Tveit miss. So what more can you ask for? And then I saw Juliet, and I had all these thoughts, but kind of chickened out on saying them out loud. Sometimes I feel like it can be really scary to express less than stellarly positive opinions on shows when you're in the theater community yourself. At least it is for me. But then on Valentine's Day, I got tickets to see Hadestown for a third time. Now, I wasn't the most stoked in the world to get tickets for Hadestown. Like, I was more excited to see Moulin Rouge and Juliet because I had already seen Hadestown twice. And I'd never seen those other two shows, and I was really excited to see things I hadn't seen before. So I kind of walked in to Hadestown not really expecting much from it, but it blew me away. From the moment Lilias White introduced Reeve Carney's Orpheus, I literally had tears pricking at the corner of my eyes. I swear. I was like, am I gonna cry in this opening number of a show I've seen twice before? That show is so affecting every time, and I was captivated for every moment that I was in that theater, which made me wonder, why didn't I feel that way about Juliet? So let's dig into it. The first 15 minutes of Juliet was the best part of any jukebox musical I've ever seen. Perhaps, maybe only rivaled by Mamma Mia on Broadway. It was fun. It took itself seriously, but not too seriously. The first 4 songs were used so perfectly, chosen so appropriately, I was blown away. From the introduction of Shakespeare with Larger Than Life, to the reimagining of I Want It That Way as a push and pull between 2 conflicting characters. To Hit Me Baby One More Time as the introduction of Juliet, featuring the soaring vocals of Lorna Courtney. Even the hilarious use of Tell Me the Meaning of Being Lonely to reveal that Romeo had all these previous lovers. It was brilliant. Walking into the show, my expectations were on the floor. I thought this was gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a jukebox musical. I knew a bunch of the songs that were gonna be in it. Basically, I was planning on, I'm gonna get an awesome drink from the bar. I'm gonna enjoy some amazing songs, amazing performances, but this isn't gonna be Shakespeare or anything. So when the beginning of the show blew me away, it made the failure of the rest of the show to live up to that first 15 minutes especially devastating. Starting from Domino with the introduction of the best friends, it seemed like all that genius attention to detail and the artistic reimagining of the lyrics just went right out the window. It felt like we had party song after party song after party song, and to misquote Syndrome from The Incredibles, if everything's a party, then nothing is. This is a trap that so many jukebox musicals fall into, that after that first 15 minutes of this show, I had so much hope that it was going to sidestep entirely. When you are limited in song choice and have to fit the plot around the songs as opposed to vice versa, so often the songs feel unnecessary and can even get a little boring once the, I've heard this song, wears off. Those first 4 songs demonstrated that with such a robust musical catalog, this show in particular had all kinds of options available to it. But it almost felt like after the 4th song, they didn't bother to try anymore, which is incredibly disappointing. Now, here's the part that I'm worried is going to ruffle a few feathers. I want to preface all of my comments here by saying that I am non-binary. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm queer. And that I support all of the non-binary people in the cast and do not want to disrespect them or their performances in this show in the slightest. But I don't feel like this show was good representation for non-binary people. And I had a really hard time with it. I was so excited to see non-binary representation on Broadway. I didn't manage to catch Head Over Heels on Broadway, and I heard that it had such good non-binary representation and desperately wished that Jagged Little Pill had done better with their non-binary representation by, you know, having it at all as opposed to just baiting it throughout the entire show. Similarly to Jagged Little Pill's treatment of Joe's character, I feel like the text of & Juliet didn't quite know what to make of May's character. 1/3 of the time, sure, I think the text is clear that May is a non-binary person. However, 1/3 of the time, the text treats them as if they're a gay best friend, and another 1/3 of the time, they treat May as if they're a trans woman. I had a really hard time as a non-binary person who is very frequently called a girl and a woman when I am not, to hear May sing "Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman" as their big solo, and duet the song "I Kissed a Girl," where it is implied that May is the girl. It is really hard to say you need to do better when so many are not even trying at all. But for me, sometimes it's almost easier to be invisible than to be shown such obvious misgendering. I wanted to like this show so badly. The actors were amazing. Amazing! Betsy Wolfe and Lorna Courtney are stars. The set design was fabulous. The lights were so bright and neon, it made my heart sing. The costumes, ugh! But even the best actors and lighting and costumes can't fix a bad book. No matter how much icing you put on a cake, if the cake is bad, it's not gonna taste good. And the beginning of the show proves that it didn't have to be bad. Ugh! What do you think? Have you seen the show? Do you want to see the show? I'd be interested to hear if anyone caught it on the West End and if there's any major differences. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!